What's up, everyone? Every single one of Eddard Stark's children is said to be a warg. A warg is actually a person with the ability to enter the mind of an animal and control its actions. It's much easier for a warg/skinchanger to do so if a bond is pre-existing between the two parties. The interaction between the skinchangers and the animal's mind will influence both personalities, with detrimental effects happening to the human's mind if the human is unable to fight off the influence of the animal. As of yet, there has only been one known incidence of a skinchanger successfully entering another human's mind, and it was actually a simple mind at that. Let's just say Hodor. This incident was particularly traumatic to the mind who was entered and difficult for Bran to pull off. Such an event proves to actually be more of a moral and an ethical dilemma. If a skinchanger is killed while inhabiting a creature, a part of his consciousness will remain with the creature. Much fear and superstition exists around skinchangers, with many mistakenly being believed to be actually shapeshifters. The greatest among the skinchangers could wear the skin of any beast. One man in 1,000 is born a skinchanger, and one skinchanger in 1,000 is actually a greenseer. Please slap a like on this video, as it helps my channel immensely and it's free. Also, if you want to enter my contest for once I hit 10,000 subscribers here on YouTube, all you have to do to enter said contest is 1. Like this video, 2. Comment down below, and 3. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. The prize is this lovely Daenerys Dark Horse figurine. In the novels, Jon is suspected of warging into ghosts just before he dies, as the main principle of this theory is that Jon's last words are in fact ghost. He is also known to have wolf dreams, in which he dreamed of being his direwolf ghost. Now, this next part comes from A Clash of Kings and takes place during Jon's 7th POV chapter, just for reference sake. There were 5 of them, where there should have been 6. They were scattered, each part far from the others. Jon sat on his haunches and lifted up his head to the darkening sky. His cry echoed throughout the forest, a long, lonely, and mournful sound. As it died away, he pricked up his ears, listening for an answer, but the only sound in return was the sigh of blowing snow. "Jon?" The call came from behind him, softer than a whisper, but strong too. Could a shout be silence? He turned his head, searching for his brother, but only for a glimpse of a lean gray shape moving beneath the trees. But there was nothing, only a weirwood tree. First off, I want to say in the books, the Starks should stop taking mushroom tea before they go to bed. Perhaps they wouldn't have such vivid dreams. But on a serious note, this dream has a lot of symbolism, and is basically telling Jon that Bran, aka the missing direwolf from the beginning of the dream, is now a greenseer, and he lives in a tree. Jon circled the smooth white trunk until it came to the face. Red eyes looked at him. Fierce eyes they were, yet they were glad to see him. The weirwood had his brother's face. Jon remarked internally, "Has his brother always had 3 eyes?" "Not before the crow, motherfucker," the tree whispered back. Okay, that last part I ad-libbed. After chatting with the Bran tree for a bit, Jon, still in his direwolf form and still dreaming, sniffed the tree and could smell wolf and tree, and boy, underneath that smell, however, there was something more sinister. Death. He knew he was smelling death. This and many other sketchy things is partly why the theory that Bloodraven may actually be evil was formed. I, however, interpreted Jon smelling death as George hinting at the fact that Bran may, in fact, die underneath the cave, simply because of the order in which Jon smelled the scent. First it was Bran, then it was a wolf, then it was a tree, and then finally it was death. Now, this is a little bit unrelated, however, but there is a theory that Nymeria is actually headed north to reunite with Ghost because Jon's spirit is in his body. Supposedly, Arya did this subconsciously, as in one of the sample chapters released by George from Winds of Winter, it is said to be snowing in the Riverlands, and Nymeria is running through a pine forest while being watched by a tree, aka Bran. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure why the show has left so much of these skinchanger/wolf dream storylines out of the show. I guess they already had too much on their plate, and maybe they thought that if every Stark warg, it would make Bran's power seem less special. Let me know down below in the comment section why Dan and Dave let out such an interesting part of the story. And now on to the point of this damn video. In the novels, the Night's King was a fearless warrior named the 13th Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. Later on, he fell in love with a woman with skin as white as moon and eyes like blue stars. He chased her, and he loved her. Though her skin was cold as ice, Once he gave his seed to her, he gave his soul as well. During the dark years of his reign, horrific atrocities were committed. Still, tales are being told about these atrocities in the north. It was not until Brandon the Breaker, the King of Winter, and Joramun, the King Beyond the Wall, joined forces to defeat the Night King and bring him down. The Night King on the show is slightly different, with the show's version of the Night King history still being a bit of a mystery besides his creation. For the most part, I'm legit shocked as to why they changed his history for the show. Real quick, isn't it ironic that a Stark had to team up with some dude named Joramun to defeat the Night King, and Jon Snow had to team up with some guy named Tormund to take back Winterfell, and will likely use Tormund's help to defeat the show's version of the Night King? With warging being so important in the books, I think the show's version of the Night King uses a powerful version of skin changing to control all of those undead creatures known as wights. I believe that this is the reason why no other Starks are shown to warg in the show besides Bran. If Bran is Game of Thrones' version of Luke Skywalker according to Dan and Dave, then his powers would seem less special if Han and Leia could also manipulate the midichlorians themselves, aka warg. This theory is mainly for the show, as in the novels, the others are actually only rumors at this point. I think the way the wights react in this clip right here gives it all away. It's as if they are all hive-minded. All of them are facing one way until the Night King focuses on Bran, and then all the wights simultaneously turn and face Bran. We also have the clip of Hardhome, when the Night King raises all the fallen free folk or wildlings to join his rank as wights. They all have the same eyes as if they are all being warged. Now, you're like, what the hell? Where'd you get that from? Well, look at Hodor's eyes once he's warged. Is this what the eyes of a human once they're warged? Is this what they look like? I don't know. You guys comment down below in the comment section. I think these White Walkers, the higher-ups, if you will, are allowed more decision-making freedom, and that's why they seem to act independently from other whites. Since we know the White Walkers may actually be Craster's children, I believe that this is what makes them more powerful, yet they are ultimately still under the control of the Night King because he turned/warged them at birth. And these White Walkers, or these lieutenants in his army, know nothing other than being a White Walker. So this is why they can still act independently, but ultimately are under his control. Benjen Stark, or Cold Hands in the books, I know Benjen is not cold-handed in the books, but anyway, Benjen Stark on the show was saved by the Children of the Forest, and we know they work for who? Bloodraven. Who's the new Bloodraven? Bran. We do know that Bran did summon Benjen once him and Mira were surrounded by whites, and to confirm this, Benjen did say that Bran called him as he is the new Bloodraven. So in conclusion, I think the Night King on the show is warging the minds of the whites, and this is what makes him so powerful. He's a green seer, just like Bran. And since it's the end of the video, allow me to slip on my full tinfoil cap, and here it goes. What if the show's Night King is actually the first Bloodraven, and he was created in a different way, which actually corrupted him, and that's how he became who he is today? This could have been the first time the Children of the Forest tried the experiment, and that would explain why it backfired. Okay, I'll go ahead and remove my tinfoil cap. I want to thank you all so much for watching this video. The like goal is 100, and if you would like to check out my THRONES GoFundMe, you can click the link up there. My name's Mark, and this has been Sir Hunt's Reviews.